How about that Rollin transporter? You got the radio on there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks a lot for letting me catch up with you there at your pickup location. Of course, a lot of folks know your truck, but we're going to focus on who you are and what you're doing and where you're going.
My name is Kevin Pascavis. I drive this beautiful rig for Rollin Transport. Just left the show, got my pickup there in Greensboro, and headed back to the house.
10-4, where's the house for you?
Southeast Wisconsin, a town called Waukesha, Wisconsin.
Where do you normally run at, and what do you normally haul?
We run all 48. I really like running Southwest and Texas and the Carolinas, so a whole lot of fabricated machinery and fabricated steel, and just about anything that we can fit in these trailers.
10-4. Well, tell me about the year, make, model, horsepower, transmission, all the goodies associated with the truck and also the trailer.
That's a 2013 Peterbilt 389 Glider Kit. We put a 2001 C16 Caterpillar motor in. It's got an 18-speed transmission with running through 336 gears. The trailer's a 2010 48-foot Mack flatbed. We put a quick draw tarp kit on it. Overall length, nose to tail, 79.5 foot. Wheelbase on the truck is 325, rolling on 24.5 low pros.
How does she do for you, though?
Oh, she gets after it. She's got plenty of torque and plenty of horsepower.
What do you think you're putting out horsepower-wise?
It's just a stock C16. They're rated at 600 horse.
one of the questions that a lot of people will ask right away when they look at your wheelbase, they'll say, hey, well, why is it stretched out so long? What's the benefit? Maybe you can fill them in on some of the benefits of having a stretched wheelbase.
The benefits of having a long wheelbase truck is ride, comfort of the ride. You stretch it out. It gets to a point that the ride overtakes the coolness factor. That's why we stretch them out so long, just for that low, long, hot rod look. That's pretty much the only benefit for our system that we use, because if I had an open flatbed trailer, you could overhang material off the front of your trailer in that open area. That way you wouldn't have to pull permits for over length. But with us having these headboards, we just do it for the coolness factor. We do a lot of stuff we do is just for the look, you know. That's number one priority is how does it look.
10-4, well, I think you're looking pretty good, and judging by how your truck is all over the internet, I think you guys are doing pretty good.
Oh, for sure. This color combination is really catchy, and a lot of people seem to like it, so I'm happy with it, and I'm glad a lot of people are happy with it too.
How long have you been trucking for, and how did you get into trucking?
I grew up in trucking. Back to as long as I can remember, my dad drove truck, and he ran the East Coast, ran reefer out to the East Coast, and I'd always come to the shop, help him on weekends, and summertime when we were out of school, I'd ride with him for a week or two, you know. And I got into it when I was 21. I went and got my CDL and decided that I was going to follow my father's footsteps and continue the trucking career. And it's been a blast. I love seeing the country. I love driving, especially when you get to drive a cool truck. You know, it just makes it that much easier.
Well, it sounds like you're doing the family proud, and you're doing your dad proud there with following the family tradition of trucking, and you hit the jackpot with being able to drive a cool truck around the country.
Oh, that's for sure.
I'm going to back up a step and ask you about some of the custom parts you have on the truck.
We took off the factory headlights and mounted an older 379 style headlight. The visor, a lot of the parts that we run on our trucks are from 12 gauge customs. Front air ride kit, flip bumper kits, cab and bunk panels. Visor's a Midwest sheet metal visor. Stacks are 8-inch Dynaflex with 8-inch picket elbows and an 8-inch Y pipe. Some of the really cool things on the truck most people don't even notice is the attention to detail that we paid. Like the frame bolts in the stretched out area, we shaved all the frame bolts. We took off the rear sleeper air ride and moved it underneath the cab, underneath the bunk there to clean up the lines. Cleaned up all the casting marks on your suspension hangers and fuel tanks. All the welds have been smoothed out, and air tank welds on the air tanks have all been smoothed out. A lot of round edges, a lot of hidden, sleek detail that a lot of people don't get to see, you know. And we try to point it out to a lot of people, and they're just amazed by the detail that we stuck into it that most people don't even notice, you know, looking at it.
Well, that's cool. If somebody doesn't tell you, sometimes you would never notice. So that's awesome that you kind of clue some folks in on what you guys have done. That way they can really appreciate the work. So, Kevin, how'd you do at Super Rigs?
Well, we brought home the second place working combo, and was picked for a spot in the 2015 Shell Rotella calendar.
Well, that's not a bad deal.
No, not at all. The calendar is what we shoot for, and last year was in our home state of Wisconsin. We didn't get picked, so we drove all the way out to North Carolina to try to get picked again.
10-4. Well, that worked out pretty good then.
Being on that calendar is pretty important. A lot of people look up to the people that get on that calendar, and everybody seems to want to be on it. So when you get picked, you feel kind of special.
10-4, I can imagine so. That's a nationwide distribution there as far as where the calendar goes. That's the Shell Rotella Super Rigs calendar that you probably find that just about everywhere.
Yeah, I've been driving down the road with my last truck that was picked, and a guy come up alongside me in his semi. He had a calendar in his truck, and he pointed to the month that I was on, and he pointed to me and gave me the thumbs up, and it was pretty neat.
I guess that's one dedicated fan of your truck there, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, Kevin, let me ask you, we got to see you get loaded. Explain the benefits of using the curtain side trailer or tarp system that you use, and the pros and cons of it.
Some of the main benefits of running a curtain side trailer is not having to throw tarps. A lot of the material that flatbeds haul requires a tarp to protect from the weather, and with this system, you don't have to manually throw tarps. It takes 2 minutes to open your trailer. It takes 2 minutes to close it. Where some of the material that we haul, the machinery that needs to be protected from the weather, they can take up to 2 to 3 hours tarping a machine. A lot of sharp edges, a lot of padding needed to protect your tarp so you don't get holes in them. Where with this system, you just roll it forward, roll it back. It's almost 100% watertight seal. A lot of our customers really like it that they have peace of mind with their, $750,000 machine, not worried about it getting wet and getting damaged. Some of the drawbacks are your height. With the height of the trailer, you lose fuel mileage. You hit a lot of wind. Going down the road, it's like a dry van or a reefer. You're 13.6 tall. Main drawbacks is fuel mileage loss and initial cost, but I wouldn't run any other thing than a curtain if I was doing flatbed. It just makes your job so much easier. The customers are so much happier. You can load and get out of there. You're not sitting there for 2-3 hours tarping a load, hour on the other end untarping it. So.
Well, thanks for sharing that bit of information. I'd like to ask a lot of the guys what they would want to communicate to motorists as far as safety and how they can make your job easier. What's your comment on that?
My main problem with the slash four-wheelers out here is they just don't realize how they drive around big trucks and how dangerous that a lot of them drive, and that if it wasn't for a lot of truck drivers paying attention and really trying to be safe, that there would probably be a lot more accidents out there. Cars cutting off all their trucks just to get one spot ahead. It just blows my mind. The people drive so crazy around trucks that are 80,000 pounds, and they don't stop on a dime like a car. They can't maneuver like a car can, and everybody's in a hurry these days.
Yeah, I agree. They're in a hurry to go nowhere fast. They're not really sure of what a semi can do to a car if there was a collision.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the age we're in. Everybody's kind of selfish. Everybody just worries about themselves. They don't think about the consequences of their actions anymore. But if there's one thing, is just people just cut you off for no reason. It's just so unsafe the way these cars fly around these days. And a lot of it's just not paying attention. They're busy on their phone or texting or playing with the radio, and they don't realize that driving is a privilege that was given to us in this country. It's not a right. I think if more people thought of it as a privilege instead of a right, that they would take it a little bit more serious, a little more cautious when they drive.
You made a really good point there with driving being a privilege. I know when I started driving as 16, my dad really ingrained into me that he can take those keys away at any point in time and I won't get to drive again. So I had to make sure that I could prove that I was a responsible person and that I could handle the vehicle. I can only imagine what it would be like if people got their keys taken away from them for simple infractions or multiple infractions. I'm sure we get much better drivers on the road.
I think we would.
Hey, Kevin, thanks a lot for letting me catch up with you there at your pickup location and ride along with you a little bit here. We're northbound somewhere, I guess close to the Virginia line, I'm not sure, but we got to see some mountains and whatnot. And thanks a lot for filling us in on that beautiful truck that you guys have put together and you show all around the country. Kevin, we appreciate you, and have a safe ride back to the house, and we'll see you soon.
Take care. We'll see you at the next show, and can't wait to see the product.
I'll catch you on the interwebs.
Stay safe, Chris.